slain round here. Some out of towners that came was slain down here. If it ain't business or fam, don't come round here. I'm top water for life, and this is our year. Yeah, cause round here we said we own one. 448 grams, that's a whole one. That F.U.S.E, I'm trying to own one. You ain't gotta worry about mine, get your own one. Yeah, cause round here we said we own one. From my hood to your hood, we said we own one. From your hood to my hood, we said we own one. You ain't gotta worry me snitching, just hold your own tongue.
One, two. Here we go. It's my time to rise.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest talk radio show around, providing an open discussion for some of the most important social issues and trending topics today. From personal growth or spirituality to sex and relationships, no subject is ever taboo. So prepare to be empowered, enlightened, and entertained during another episode of the award-winning Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Real people, real topics, real talk.
Gotta do it, and won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it, because I may not get another chance. I believe it.
What's up? Thanks for tuning in to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. It is Wednesday, June 28th. I'm coming to you from WODU Studios, live on the campus of Old Dominion University. I'm in the studio with two beautiful women.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, Miss Caprice Elmore. Hey, boo.
Hello. Hey, what's going on?
How you been?
I've been good.
And we also have a new one to the show. We have a virgin to the show. Please help me welcome to the show Dr. Trina Coleman. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing good. Heard a lot about you from my brother and from Nikki. Both speak very, very highly of you, so I'm excited to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here.
How's everybody's week going?
Everybody.
They call this, what, Hump Day, right?
Hump Day, Wild
Hump
Out
Day.
Wednesday, weekday service.
You're right.
weekday
You're right.
service,
You're right.
Whatever.
I left a lot of people get ready to go to church. I'm
That's
like, well, I
right.
gotta show
Whatever
them.
W you want to use, it's today.
Right. How's everybody's week going so far?
It's going
Good.
I'm
Good.
doing adult stuff though this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's adult stuff?
What is that?
Work stuff. So
Work?
It's been fun and
Ah.
productive.
Okay.
And I've been looking forward to coming here.
Wonderful.
right.
You know, as a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead so that people can know how fabulous you are. So, Dr. Trina Coleman, now this is what got me. How does it feel to be the second of only 5 African-American female PhDs in this, get this now, theoretical, high-energy particle physics? What is that and what made you want to get into it?
Well, what it is first of all, thank you. And it always sounds impressive when I hear other people say it. It was not something that I was planning based on that statistic. I didn't even know about that statistic until about last year. High energy physics is looking at particles as they interact with each other on a subatomic level. So we learn about atoms in school and stuff. I'm looking at parts that make up atoms.
Okay.
And when you smash them together, what comes out of it and things like that. So I'm not the experimental side. Those are the people that do the experiments. I'm the mathematical side that analyzes the data.
Okay.
So that's the theoretical side of it all.
So you like math all along, coming up. You okay. See, math is what gets me. That's what's keeping me from the GRE, the math part. That, what is it, the quantitative part.
Math isn't keeping you from the GRE.
What is it?
You keep yourself from the GRE.
All right. Well, that's coming up in our discussion.
So you are a modern day. What's the name of the movie that was out? Hidden
Living-
Figures.
yeah,
where,
Hidden Figures.
Where Taraji just
Yes.
all on the blackboard doing all them numbers. So you're the modern day. Lord.
Miss Catherine.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, in a sense, yes.
Every time I kept looking at it during the movies, only thing I kept thinking of was the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, they're actors.
I know, I know, because he said he knows nothing about. He just read the script. He don't know anything about the math. But every time I look at it, I think about them. It's like,
And
it's
you
just
know
so
what
much.
the thing about it is, though, the Big Bang Theory made being a nerd sexy and trendy.
Right, right.
Well, everybody wanted to be a geek and
Exactly.
intellectual and nerdy once the Big Bang show got popular. But yeah, back to the Hidden Figures. I met Miss Catherine. She's awesome. And
Yeah.
those ladies are awesome.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And that's
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and ask my question for you.
Okay.
Why do you say math literacy must be the focus with students today?
Well, math is the foundation for learning other things. And so if they can't do math proficiently, then even if you want to be a business major, you still need to know a level of mathematics. You got to pass that statistics.
Ooh, I was
course.
about to say that. Statistics is something
Math
else.
in there. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to write apps, you want to code, all of these things that are like sexy hot topics now, STEM and everything.
Right.
The foundation of STEM is math. Foundation of science is math, technology, and engineering. So math literacy is key. Also, being able to make sure you can count your money and make investments, make your money grow. And the thing that I use as an example is that people think $1 million is a lot of money, but I mean it's comfortable. But as soon as you spend that first
Penny.
dollar,
That first penny.
you're not a millionaire anymore.
Right.
Not only that, I like to break it down and say $1 million is $1,000 bills.
Okay.
So you can spend $1,000 easy.
Very
Especially
easy.
if you buy a $500,000 house. You spend half of your $1,000.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah,
So
right.
you
Exactly.
bought another 5 cars and all that. And people think they're still millionaires because they have it in their mind that they are a millionaire because they had $1 million one day. So math literacy is key when it comes to talking about your finances and being able to not be surprised on payday.
Right.
Understand where your deductions are going and all of those things like that. So even as a fundamental, even if it's not something that you want to go into as a career, being able to
Have that
keep
foundation.
up with your money and also other things is key.
Well, I have a quick question. It's not on these questions, but
Don't have to be.
the question is, why is math such a taboo in the African American community when we usually back in the days took nothing and bought so much to feed a family of 9, 10, 11 kids, but they had like $5 and they stretch it out, but yet we all scared of math.
Are you talking about me?
We all
No, I mean me too. I mean, it took me hard to get through statistics because
Yeah.
I didn't know the foundation. After algebra, I didn't want to know anything else.
You should take a yoga class while you're taking math. Relax and breathe. Because
Really?
people get all bent out of shape about math before they even pick the pencil up. It's like, oh dang, I gotta
Take a math course. Yeah.
Why do you think it's such taboo for us?
Because there's a couple things. Our students have been conditioned to think that being an honor roll student or being a smart kid is not something that plays well with the peer group. So they don't want to be the one getting good grades. So that's one of the things that's an issue. The other one is that people have glamorized the fact that being bad at math is okay. I can't stand math. I'm not good at math. I'm like, oh, they'll wear a sign. I don't do math. Like it's a good thing to be advertising. That ain't cute. That's like that. I don't use deodorant or brush my teeth. I'm proud. My breath is funky and my armpits.
But we know how to stretch a dollar, though.
But we know how to stretch. We knew how to stretch a dollar. That was before we got into that entitled, materialistic, make it rain.
Oh, true.
Because back then people had 2 outfits. They had a church outfit and they had a school outfit, and that's all they had. It wasn't like I need the Wednesday Jordans and the Friday Jordans and the church Jordans. It wasn't none of that going on back then. So that's what the difference is. As I see it.
So it's been a long time. This isn't also on the question, but it's been a long time since I've been in high school. But don't now they have like STEM related specific schools?
They actually do.
They do.
And they
Okay.
have, academies. Well, in Hampton, they have different disciplines that are focused on in each of the high schools. So that if you're more interested in like technology and graphics or something like that, you go to a particular school. If you're more interested into it with the medical field or something, then there's another high school that focuses on that.
Okay.
So, but STEM is one of those things that now education in general is focused on. So that's a good thing. However, the educators and the sponsors need to step back and say, okay, well, what
Mhm.
So, you know, and then they roll it all into one bucket. STEM. STEM is not one thing.
Mhm.
STEM is all four of those things. It's
Science,
just an
yeah.
acronym.
Mhm.
So
Exactly. Wow.
that's what the issue is,
Ooh.
as I see it. And I'm
Jeez.
always right.
You're always right.
Yes,
Okay,
I am.
okay. So, and then another thing is, I've always heard, and it might be true, might not be true, that usually if you are really good at math, then you're not that good at English. Because I'm a person who I reign supreme in English, but math, for some reason, even though when I took statistics, I got an A in it because I knew I had to get my degree. So
Yeah.
I was in the library, I had tutors and everything,
had to
and
do
I got it. But it didn't come easy to me at all. I had to do like 200% to
Yeah.
get it. But English just comes natural to me. Writing and comprehension, all of that comes easy for me. So have you ever heard that? And was that true? Was that a myth that I use for an excuse?
I have not done research, but I will say I can speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
My SAT scores were slightly askew.
Okay.
The math one was up here.
Uh-huh.
The
Okay.
other one. And the thing about it is, I think that the English side is more subjective.
Okay.
There's a lot of wiggle room for interpretation.
And math is cut and dry.
Math
It's
is
the outcome.
It's either right or it's
Exactly.
wrong.
That's-
Right.
exactly,
It's either going to
exactly.
balance or it's not, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, there are different ways that you can express yourself with English, and there are different points of view that you can have on a particular topic. There are different ways that I could read what you've written and Patrice could read it, and it could mean two different things.
Exactly.
To both of us. So
Math is just there.
it's
there.
either wrong, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Basically, or you're right.
Well, at what grade and age did you realize math was it for you?
Wasn't just math, it was learning in general. When I was 4,
Whoa.
my sister
Really?
was 5, 6. She went to kindergarten,
Mhm.
and I didn't go to school yet. So I wanted to know where she was going, why I couldn't go. And she would come home and she was like, "Oh, today, Trina, check it out. We learned how to do blah blah blah." So she was the person who got me to the point where I'm like, "Oh, I want to go to this school place."
Mhm.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
4.
my love for learning was already there.
Mhm.
It's just that I built upon it as time progressed, and I was always curious, and I like playing with dolls and stuff like that. I wanted to open up stuff and take stuff apart and things like that.
So did you fall into physics? Because when I was younger, I didn't say I want to be
Yeah.
a physics. You know, like I was. What made you decide that, okay, this is what I'm getting my degree in, this is what I want to be?
It was a fluke too. And here's what happened. What had happened was when I was in high school,
Mhm.
I really thought I wanted to be an accountant because it was math.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's elegant. You put it in the right place, and it's got a balance.
Mhm.
Balance is important.
Yeah.
So I took accounting and I took physics in senior year because it was a science class and there were other people signed up for. I'm like, I know I'm smarter than them. I'm taking this class too.
Right.
So I took the physics class and it was intriguing. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, I'm gonna major in physics. I'd already applied and signed up as an accounting major, but when I got in physics class, I'm like, how can they stretch this out for 4 years? The one the high school class. Little did I know, it was way, way more than that. But that's how I ended up being a physics major.
Yeah.
Because accounting was too easy.
And you said something's happening to gifted students in schools. What's your theory on what's happening, or what have you seen?
Well, the standardized testing and
Oh yeah.
the way
Yeah.
Well, in that GRE and in that standardized test, I'm against that too. What are we gonna do about it?
Not
go to graduate
yours.
school.
Lord.
Get another bachelor's. No.
I thought about it.
No, the gifted students are getting shafted because, and this is me again,
Uh-huh.
for me, and being one of those students at one point in time, knowing that I got special attention because I was ahead of my class most of the time. I'm like, okay, I'm finished with this. What I need to do something else. So my teachers had the flexibility to give me different work.
Okay.
Now, these teachers have a stringent curriculum that they have to follow in
That's
order
true.
to have these students take these tests at the end of the school year. And the gifted ones, they could be ready to take the next 2 grade levels up, but they can't do it
Because they have to.
because of these standards
Yeah.
and this Common Core and all this other stuff. So my thing is, where are these students? They're mixed. They are caught up in the mix
Exactly.
And being able to identify them is important, and kind of lure them out of the crowd and try to figure out a way to help them develop their talents,
Yeah.
and their skills, and be the next Katherine Johnson or Trina Coleman, perhaps, whatever, or we're going to put a guy in there. Who we going to put in there? Will Strayhorn.
I hope so. I hope so. That sounds good to me.
It is. I remember I was a substitute teacher last year, which I enjoyed it. And I, taught, I was substitute teacher for the regular classes. And I remember I had a physics class for a full week. And the teacher went away. He was, military has to do with his reserve duties. And he left all the work. But, sometimes the kids run out of work. Now, when I was in a regular class, them kids was out of control. I'm trying to mentor them and everything else. But the physics kids, they had magnets. It was almost like boring to sit there all week because they did themselves. They was quiet. It was like 6 kids in the class, 1 African-American person. And they was just going at it. They did their work. They did their test. They was quiet. And then they went and whatever the teacher had, and they had magnets and trying to figure out why this. I'm like, is this what y'all do all week? This is boring. Talk. Somebody do something. Walk out the class. Something. Do what I'm used to. But that was, I don't know if that was the boringest class I something to all week. There was good students, but they was doing other stuff, trying to fix stuff and see why this work and that work. I'm like, okay.
It's the intellectual equivalent of what men do when they push the button and push the button. What does this button do?
What this button do? That's what they want to figure out.
Except for these kids, I said men. Except for
I
these
heard you.
kids are,
I heard you.
they're curious.
Yeah,
So they're trying to figure out, well, if we do this, what will happen? So you put the magnet close to that, or you take the glass rod or the rubber rod, you rub it with the fur or something like that. And then they run around shocking each other.
Exactly right. I'm like, what are y'all doing? But
But it's the natural curiosity in them that makes them want to go and do those things. So you're looking at them like, what are y'all doing over there? But they are actually using their critical thinking and analytical skills, which is another thing that most students are not doing now. And that's partially also because of these standards, and they're not given that time to be able to use critical thinking skills.
Are you a native here? Virginia native? What school you went to? What high school? Phoebus.
Okay.
So did Margot Shedley. She wrote Hidden Figures. Woo, Phoebus Phantom's in the house.
Wow. Okay.
Now, you coined the phrase academic blue blood.
I did.
Okay, so what does that mean? And tell us about the academicblueblood.com.
Okay, well, short of it is, there's a website called Mathematics Genealogy site. University of North Dakota or somewhere, they put all this math lineage together. So I Googled myself, and I found out I was on this site, and so I went.
You were on the site? Okay.
My degree technically is math. Quantum theory is a subcategory in math.
Okay.
So they had me on the tree. So I looked at myself, then I clicked my link, and my advisor was there. Then I clicked his advisor, and so forth. It was like a family tree. So then I got in the tree deep, and I started seeing famous people. I'm like, what? What? I'm linked directly to these famous mathematicians and physicists. So at that point in time, I'm like, I'm royalty. So that's where the acronym Blue Blood came from. So that's why I use that term.
Academic blue blood. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it now. The
Academic
bloodline. The
blue blood.
bloodline.
Yeah.
To a royal queen or
Okay.
a prince or something.
That's
like that.
nice.
So that's my academic.
I need to see if I'm on there, Will.
Yeah, you do that.
I need to see if I'm on
All
this
right.
academic
Well,
blue
everybody,
blood.
you see how fabulous Dr. Trina
Yeah,
Coleman
we can
is.
talk about my website later. Unless you want
Yes,
to talk about it.
we will. We actually towards the end, and then talk about some more things. Hope because you have some other topics you want to talk about pertaining to education.
2 hours. I was like, dang, she's
And you know what?
30.
That can help me with my first hot topic, which really isn't a hot topic, but it's something I want to discuss. Because I think I know the answer, but you know how you keep going through everybody until you get the answer to somebody that agrees with you? So this is my question. Okay, so I come from a family of people who are educated, and the education is high on their roster of things to do in their life. Yeah, I don't know if you're a fair person I need to talk to. So my mom's biggest regret in life, she said, is that she didn't go through with her master's degree. She always said, I'm going to come back, but then she had a family and she never did it. My brother, he is everything. He got his tenure from University of Tennessee in record time, has a PhD in law school, done all that. So education, of course, he's like, you need to go and do it. My situation is I want to be in journalism. Most people in journalism, I've talked to people like Barbara Sierra and everybody, they say, you know, you just need a bachelor's degree in journalism or master's in mass communications. And then the rest of your advancement is through experience, through time served, things that you do. Now, my mom and them are saying, because I was like, ever since I graduated, which has only been, what, 2 months? I've been panicking. I can't find a job. I need to go get another degree or something. So I was like, I need to go back and get my master's degree. And they were like, yeah, that's definitely what you need to do because it's going to open up more opportunities, blah, 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 and it's a good plan B. But I don't know if I want a plan B because I'm really passionate about what I'm doing. But then again, I don't want to do because I went to school back in '89. Was in here in makeup for 22 years. When the economy went down is when I went back to school. So this is really my plan B, going back to school now. I don't want a plan C. So I really want to do all, but I don't want to wait like 10 years and this hasn't done what I wanted to do. And then I'm 60 and I'm one of the lady that was in my class. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, you know, should I go get that master's degree or should I put all my energy into my passion?
What are you going to do with it when you get it?
And you see, my master's degree wasn't even pertaining to what I'm doing. My master's degree was in learning, design, and technology. Because my passion is teaching. I use this as a platform for teaching. So I was going to help build teaching programs, educational programs for businesses, part of their corporate education, in schools, like probably in STEM, helping building educational programs for them to work. That was going to be my master's program, which would still use my communications degree just on a different side. It wouldn't be media related.
I think that passion is important.
Okay.
Otherwise, you know, that's why I'm not a practicing physicist right now. I love the work to get the degree. There are a lot of things involved in doing the professional side of it that are much different from doing the academic side.
Oh, okay.
And I'm impatient as well. It takes years to do research and come up with the solution. I want it right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about technology and some of the other things that I do because I can see right now. And also, I like working with students. And I like working with students that want to learn. I'm not a disciplinarian. I don't have any kids. I don't want to take care of nobody's kids. I'm not trying to babysit them in class. But if I'm at the college level or, you know, teaching the gifted students, which I used to do when I was in grad school, then yes, but passion is important. So I would say to you that if you're not feeling it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay.
You will, if you want it, you will go after it. And if you're comfortable where you are, then be where you are and hone and develop your current passion. And also, I like your idea about working with curriculum building and using your journalism skills in that regard. We're going to talk about that after the show.
Okay.
I think you're right. I mean, Doctor, I follow you because I say purpose and passion over paper.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's my thing because I always got to take it to God. Don't need your degree to get you where you need to get you anyway. He
True.
don't use degrees.
Right.
He used you and what you were actually designed to do. So if you were designed to this and designed for this, I always believe your purpose is what you do easily every day. And this is what you do effortless.
That's
so
true.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Anytime you got to work hard to do something, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Don't forget, our lives are rerun to God. He was
Because he's the
the Alpha and Omega, the beginning, and so he already formed before our lives was here.
Yeah.
So when we were born,
We're just walking it out.
we are just doing a playback for him.
Yeah.
I don't think the paper is really, I mean, I have a master's in public administration, but my bachelor's was in legal studies, my associate's is in paralegal. I mean, it's like it was all over the place because I thought I was going to stay in the law field. I'm just an advocate. So I'm an advocate for people. So my master's is really not useful. I'm paying back a student loan that I really could have waited to get. You know, and I was putting so much emphasis on that degree that I'm paying back to me what somebody else wanted. but I got to pay the brunt of it.
Yeah, and if you're not feeling going into this master's program, it'll make you feel bad.
Okay.
Your health will suffer if you are in something that's that stressful. And the passion and the paper.
Yeah, passion and purpose over paper. That's right.
I walked away from commas and zeros.
Oh yeah, that field, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I was liking, then I saw a STEM. I said, okay, what's the next?
I mean, last year when I
Really?
before I started my own business,
Yeah.
I walked away from 6. And I'm like, but I feel so much better because I'm following my passion now.
Because your degree, people think your degree is supposed to dictate how much you're supposed to make. Well, I'm supposed to make $500,000 because I have a PhD. But if I'm not passionate about it, but that's just But if I'm not passionate about it, I'm just sitting there collecting the money, but I'm not getting no joy in it.
Right, that is true. Most people in science, by the way, they don't make that much money in comparison. But what I will say to you is, when I was working, I was doing mostly administrative work, and it was stressful, and it wasn't something that I could see immediate results and or get that joy, that light bulb on the student's face when they
And meaningful.
figure something out, and feel like I made a difference in somebody's life. And so, if that's the way you're feeling right now, Will, then you need to keep on making a difference in somebody's life. And in yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope that's the last time I have to ask somebody that question. And I think now what it is now is
You just trying to you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get reassurance, but you can't reassure something that you already want to do.
yeah,
Right.
that's true.
You're never gonna get a cosigner. I
That's
mean,
true.
it just you just have to go for it,
That's
and
true.
that's where it comes. Just go for
I
it.
think we just finished this for you right here.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remember what I said:
Okay.
passion and purpose over paper.
Open paper. Okay.
There
I
you
got
go.
I'm gonna write that down.
Emergency room.
Right.
Well, I need to go on to my hot topics because I
Okay.
got a lot, but I am confused on what I need to start from. But
Just choose.
I don't know if y'all.
Because actually, we only have like maybe 2 minutes to get started. Then our first guest should be calling in.
Okay.
It'd be a warm topic.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, the warm
yeah,
topic is.
a warm topic. There you go.
I don't know if y'all know what Black Twitter is. I have no idea what that is.
What is it called?
Black Twitter. Well,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the
That's y'all
people,
on
well,
Twitter.
Bruno Mars, he did his performance on the BET Awards.
Uh-huh.
And his song was Put Some Perm on Your Attitude.
Ooh.
So it was a good song. I didn't watch the BET Awards. I just watched the highlights that I wanted to see because I couldn't understand none of that foolishness I was doing there anyway. But it was called Put Your Perm on Some Attitude and Straighten It Out, which was good. Black Twitter didn't like that. They said he used it. It says, woman accuses Bruno Mars of culturally appropriation, and Black Twitter shuts her down.
Well, what he didn't say was put some weave on your attitude and cover it up.
Right.
They saying he's not black, so he should not be using black
Oh
terms.
my gosh. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I mean, do you have to be black to use to
That
say
goes. We
about
had a
a
discussion
perm?
last week
'Cause
about the
actually,
N-word. But-
The white folk, the Caucasian is perm. Ours is called relaxer.
Relaxer,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
So that's his ignorance right there.
Well,
But I don't, that's a good
he's a
topic.
guy.
Yeah.
Let him get away with that one because we used to call it perm.
But they felt
Yeah.
like
Across the board.
he's not black, so he shouldn't talk about black subjects. What?
What?
I didn't. I'm like, okay, these
Okay.
people is just really out of control.
We're going to come back to
We're
that,
good.
but that,
Okay.
that gets it in our mind. But you know what? We have our first guest on the line. We have Roosevelt Mitchell III. He's an award-winning educator in St. Louis. Roosevelt, what really impressed me, he was recently named a BE Modern Man by Black Enterprise magazine, which showcased 100 diverse men of color who have done or are doing exceptional work within their communities and within their respective industries. So we're going to welcome him to the show to talk about all that he's doing, all that he's passionate about, and all that's still to come for him. So please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Roosevelt Mitchell III. How are you, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. We're having a good conversation here. Glad that you joined us. So you have some, just to get things started off, because I was listening to this lady today, which confused me. But what are your thoughts on the current state of public education, which Dr. Coleman here is really passionate about as well, and also about Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education?
Well, my current thoughts on, well, first, thank you all so much for having me as a guest.
No
I'm
problem.
truly honored. Secondly, to answer the question, you know, since the Reagan administration released the report, A Nation at Risk, back in 1983, the report detailed the decline of public education and what we needed to do. And within those last 35 years, we have done nothing to better public education, no matter the color of the politician, no matter the race or class of the politician, whether he was Republican or Democrat. We have done nothing to enhance the state of public education. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we are at I would say like we are at an important time. Like, you know, the only reason Donald Trump got inside the White House is because of the uneducated white voters, right? Mm-hmm. So you talk about a failing public school system now, and we live in a democracy that depends on informed voters. So if we are intentionally undereducating or miseducating our children, and then we get them out and expect for them to vote, when now over the last 5-6 years they have lifted the ban of people donating money. So now, you know, we live in a state of propaganda. So in the state of public education, we're doing very poor, I believe, and we can do much better. We need to do much better. But and then you add in the Trump administration, you add in Betsy DeVos, who knows absolutely nothing about public education. She never attended public education. None of her kids ever attended public education, and she has no clue. So her whole agenda is to take money out of public schools and create this charter school system, in which is what Donald Trump wants in place anyway. So with that being said, you know, I mean, we as black people are the bad state if we cannot afford to send our kids to charter or private schools.
That is so right, Roosevelt. You are absolutely right. Well, how you doing? This is Caprice.
Hey, Caprice.
Hi. You have a rich background, work with individuals and families of all ethnicity with disabilities. You say your mission is making disability cool. What's your connection to disability, and why is this so important to you?
Well, I was born with the physical disability with 2 fingers on my right hand and 5 fingers on my left. So growing up with the disability, I'm not engaged to it like a scholarly, like a scholar who just does research about it. But I'm married to it, so I live with it every day, and I can't divorce my disability no more than I can divorce my color. So I'm gonna be black forever, and I'm gonna die with a disability. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So for me, I grew up as an athlete. You know, I got, even with that, I got college scholarship offers in football, and I was all state in track. I got track offers, and so I was a 3-sport athlete and all these other things. So I was always in with the cool crowd. But the other kids with disabilities, they wasn't as athletic as I was and stuff like that. So they were treated different. So my mission is now on a larger scale for mainstream society to accept, people with disabilities. Even now, you know, we talk about the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement, and, you know, we march and stuff when a police officer, unjustly kills a person of color, in which we should, but that happens a lot with black disabled people. Even Michael Brown, you know, at the time Michael Brown was killed in Ferguson, I was living 10 minutes away from Ferguson.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Jeez.
So, when that happened, a week later, when everybody was out there protesting all day long, a week later, the police killed a person with a mental disability, and nothing happened. That wasn't really reported. People in St. Louis knew about it, but, you know, nothing happened. So, you know, still within our race, within our culture, we still have this friction or this divisiveness when a person has a mental or physical disability, as opposed to them just being killed and there's nothing wrong with them. So that just, you know, my goal and my mission in my children's book series, which is Caden is Different. Caden, the character, he's named after my son, whose name is Caden, but he has my disability. So inside the book series, I just speak about being bullied and all the things that I went through when I was going through school in order to teach other children to accept other kids' differences and not to bully.
Wow. So how are you going to make it cool? What is the premises behind that? How
Well,
you going to
well,
make it cool?
the same way. I mean, the same way Beyonce cool, the same way Denzel cool, Idris Elba cool. How mainstream in movies and mainstream media, we see these images of what good looks like. I mean, that's why we have these sisters, these queens that think that they have to go and get plastic surgery with bigger boobs and big butts because someone has said to them that's what's cool or that's what men like, right? So it's all about the imagery, the symbolism.
Mm.
So if I can get more people with disabilities seen on mainstream movies and stuff like that, and then you kind of, then you kind of see it as being normalized. Like, okay, like just think 10 years ago, I mean, the gay community. I mean, like how normal was it for you to see two men getting married and two men walking down the street holding hands? But now, fast forward to 2017, you see it all the time. To the point where it's normalized because you see it on Scandal, you see it on all these television shows. So they have made that cool and normalized that. And the same way they did that, I think the same way I can do people with disabilities if I can get in the right sectors and meet the right people and get more imagery and symbolism of people who are different, quote unquote, on these major shows like maybe a Power or maybe a Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder and such.
Okay, bringing more awareness to it.
Yeah. I saw on your website I think it was the model who I guess she wasn't born with legs, and you were saying how she makes $1,000 a day modeling.
$1,000 a day, man. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
$1,000 per day with no arms and no legs. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's and by the year 2020, it's estimated that almost 79 million people in this country will have a disability of some sort.
Wow.
Which is not like a wild number to think about. Once you think about people who go to the military with post-traumatic stress disorder, and then you think about all of the mental disabilities, and then even down in Flint, drinking water with lead, that causes mental illnesses, right? That causes mental disabilities. So, so now, we're at this point to where it's a large part of our culture, but I don't think anyone has ever brought major awareness to it unless it was autism, only because people with money, a lot of people who have a lot of money and a large platform, like some of their children have autism. So they bring awareness to that.
I have a question. You have a book out called Raising a Black Scholar. So why do you think your book is so important for us to read? What would you want to be a takeaway if I'm reading your book?
Well, as an award-winning educator who teaches, who have taught in only predominantly black and brown neighborhoods, and now I'm teaching at a school where there's 100% free or reduced lunch. I think it's important. From me, growing up in the projects, born into poverty, I think it's important that we teach our black men and our black women about how to be successful in society. All school does, I think K-12, all it does is prepare kids for college. And all college does is prepare us to work for someone or at someone's corporation, right? And then, you get your master's, it just prepares you for a raise when, in whatever sector you're in, and same way with your doctorate degree, right? So I think that in Raising a Black Scholar, a curriculum is like a home curriculum that introduces our children to things that are not taught inside of schools. Such as true black history, because black people just didn't show up in 1619 as slaves, and that's what they want you to think. And no, Christopher Columbus did not find America. It was already, it was already millions of people here, right, speaking 2,500 different languages. So that's not true. So then I teach about financial literacy, real estate, how to invest in the stock market. How to tie a tie. How to prepare for the ACT, the SAT, right? I teach about student loans. How to avoid student loans. So so to me, it's just a guide to help parents, pre-K through 12, know everything that they need to know in order to become successful outside of school. Because, as we all know, college is not for everybody, especially these days that, student loans is the only thing that you can file for bankruptcy that does not come off. Now, that should tell you something about it, right? But yet they want people, it was at a time when I was in college, my credit was so bad I couldn't even get a cell phone, but I can get a student loan. You know what I mean? So I mean,
True.
so I wish I had known the stuff I know now back then, right? So again, it's all about options. It's all about access to information. And from being inside the school system for several years and pretty good at it, now, you know, I kind of try to wrote this book to kind of fill that gap in order for kids to translate that into success outside of the school system.
Okay, I have another question for you. Using the term scholar, in general, I hear what you're saying, and I agree completely. The traditional use of the term scholar is to be well-rounded, which I hear in your curriculum where you talk about financial literacy and learning about Black history and things like that. Can you elaborate on what you mean when you say scholar? What does scholar mean to you?
Exactly what you said, well-rounded, not just a good student, right? School teaches you, you know, like how to be a good student. Right? I've been going to school, it seemed like forever, and, you know, like the stuff about financial literacy and, I mean, some of the things that I've learned about stocks and stuff or how to run a business outside of school is where I got my most schooling, right? So scholarly is well-rounded, not just knowing about the stuff they teach you, but knowing what's going on in society. I mean, how to research, you know, why it's important to question everything, you know, about credit. You know, I mean, how can I leverage my credit to get a business loan, right? So I think these are all that kind of information. I think that has been withheld from Black boys and girls is why African Americans is partly why Black men had a high unemployment rate. You know, so I mean, I think we can kind of narrow that gap with more access to that information in order how to build our own businesses and have multiple streams of income, passive income, and start thinking more like investors at a younger age as opposed to thinking that, you know, we can just grow up and get a good job and we'll be okay.
What about the social aspects of scholarship when you're dealing with interacting with other people? Do you address that?
Exactly. Oh, I mean, that's very important. Inside the book I have, you know, we're talking about, you know, I have links and stuff for parents to teach their child about self-esteem. I mean, positive self-esteem. I have links about, I mean, how to go and find a mentor. Because mentorship is very, very important. Mm-hmm. You know, one of my mentors is Dr. Boyce Watkins, you know. So, I mean, you know, and, you know, I mean, ever since being a mentee of Dr. Boyce Watkins, I mean, he has shown me about, I mean, things that I did not know about business and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it really has helped me avoid a bunch of pitfalls, I mean, and really press forward. So, you know, I talk about the social aspect, too, you know, because I think it's a holistic approach. I mean, and again, this book is not the end-all or be-all, but I think it's a great supplemental curriculum for parents to have at home in order to implement and make sure that their child is more well-rounded.
Okay, I agree. And, you know, we could do this for all day, too. I'd like to have a sidebar with you, but some are single-parent homes as well. So we could talk about that. And mentorship is something that needs to be taught as well. There needs to be a curriculum, which I'm working on, for mentors. Good. Everybody doesn't know how to be a mentor. They have good intentions. They have great knowledge and wisdom, and it's needed by students that they come into contact with. But I think a lot of people need to realize that they have a gift of information, a wealth of knowledge and experience, and they should be able to figure out the best way to convey that to the students that they touch.
Sure.
Right.
Not literally.
Yeah, I mean, that same thing with me, you know, again, I mean, growing up, I mean, I'm a 5-time author, best-selling author. I'm a award-winning educator. I mean, in growing up, I grew up in a project, right? So I didn't know any writers. I didn't know any scholars. I didn't know any thinkers, you know, but you know, once I hit college and YouTube and meeting people, then all of a sudden I got a mentor, and then that opened up my mind to a world of possibilities. So I think that's what needs to happen, especially because, you know, there's not many Black teachers, period, in education across the United States. So, I mean, I think that's problematic. I mean, especially Black men. You know, so I think it's only like 2% of the teachers nationwide are black men. I mean, there are only 63 black men who are special education teachers in the entire state of Missouri. So I'm one of 63, but yet there are 15,000 black boys in special education.
Oh, wow.
Right. So we talk about mentorship. We talk about, someone who, a mentor inside the classroom that black kids can look up to. Is missing, all across the country.
Okay.
So I'm really, really big on mentorship.
So tell me this. So if you were in a position to be a mentor, what would be your message to someone who came up to you and they ask you personally, how did you become successful living with a disability?
Well, I mentor several people, but I always tell them my story. I give them my story, in hopes, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in hopes that they can avoid some of the pitfalls that I made. But for me, it was just about self-worth, right? It was just about self-awareness, self-worth, and self-esteem. And I think that's what's missing more of as now that I get older, my self-esteem is higher than people who don't have a disability, right? So I can do more things, and I'm confident in the things that I do, but a lot of other people have talents and gifts, and their self-esteem won't allow them to. But again, I think that translates back to the schools that they went to. I think schools should increase kids' self-esteem, but it just doesn't work. So for me, it's just about being transparent, telling my story, and using my story, and letting them know, like, how I grew and, my insecurities, and how I fought through them.
Okay, wow, that is excellent. Well, tell us about your upcoming events. On Saturday, you'll be speaking in Baltimore as a keynote speaker. Tell us about that.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Actually, that was I think that was last Saturday.
Okay.
But it was a great event. It was a great event, and that was a mentorship deal. The Baltimore Rose program. It's some great people running it, some great young folks running it, and they I think they had like 30 mentees or something, like grades. I want to say grades 6 through 12. It was a fantastic event, and I really love to really give back to young people, doing powerful things like that.
So, as a keynote speaker, what were you talking about? What was the premises of your speech?
Well, the premise of my speech was how important mentorship is.
Okay.
So, so I told them how important it is, and again, I used my life story about, me growing up, and my dad was in jail, and at 7 years old, my mom was dating a crack dealer downstairs, and they would throw parties at our house every night, so she never woke me or my brothers up for school because she was always hungover. So, she never made us go to school, and I was 7 years old in the first grade, so I would dress myself and walk to school while my brother stayed home, right? So, so I told them about that situation and about, a few other my situations, how I navigated through, and how important mentorship was, because if I had became a product of my environment, then I may be in jail like my other three brothers, and I wouldn't be standing behind this podium. So that was the premise of it.
Okay.
But again, I think I just been blessed with such a testimony, like in my life, that I just use my life and show people how bad it can get and how great it can be. In a world of possibility.
Okay.
Well, can you let our listeners know how we can get a copy of your book and how to follow you on social media?
Yeah, please. On Facebook, my name is Roosevelt III. On Instagram is The Disability Scholar. And you can. My book is on Amazon, actually. So you can go on Amazon. You can go to. I think it's on Amazon, or you can go to my website, RooseveltMitchell.com.
Okay.
What's your website? Can you repeat that?
RooseveltMitchell.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your information. We really, really appreciate it. And thanks for all that you're doing.
Yeah, I thank you all for having me.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Wow, he was impressive.
Impressive. So did he say that the son has the same disability? Is that what I heard him say?
Yeah.
So
Sound
it's
like
hereditary.
it? In the book. The book.
Oh, in the
In
book.
his book. In his book. In his
Oh,
children's book.
okay.
He wrote the
named
children's book.
The character after his son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but the character has the same disability as him.
Okay, I thought he said his son.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he
his-
said he had
his
2 fingers on his
son.
right
And then
and
5
six,
on the other.
well, we all got 5. 6.
Well,
6
he
on
said 5.
Five?
Didn't you say 5?
Well, then maybe he don't have a thumb. Because we got
When
5.
do we do have 5? When did we get 5? We all
1, 2, 3. We all got 5 fingers.
No, we
We got 5.
But you know what?
Roosevelt
With-
mentioned- See, we talking about.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
well, disability is
He
If he
did
could make
not
two-
get a normal set of fingers.
Fingers,
like
right.
the rest.
Like
And
a-
that- and he's-
exactly.
Right. Okay. Let's go
I-
back to your question.
with
'Cause
the
we never
black
finished
Twitter.
it. We never finished because we're talking about him.
Yeah, we
Because
should-
I have a question about that,
Okay.
which gets me. I don't know why it aggravates me, but okay.
Hot
So,
topic now. We going from warm to hot.
Yeah.
well, we're gonna make it hot. We're gonna make it hot. Talking about how they were saying about Black Twitter was eating up. What is
Yeah,
it?
they were saying Bruno Mars does not identify as black. So
He shouldn't be comment.
He shouldn't be
'cause
commenting on perms
He made
'cause
it derogatory, basically, because he said
according
it.
to them,
But if
yeah,
we said it, it would be fine.
it would be fine. That's what they're
Which
saying.
gets me, so when we are upset about people using the N-word, why can we say it and it's fine? Number one. And then I was watching how there was some state that was having a lot of Black Lives Matter activities, and they were making the membership because a lot of Caucasian people were coming, and they closed the membership to only African Americans.
So
But
when-
there are a lot of Caucasian people who are down with, Black Lives Matter. They're wearing the buttons, and they showed the guy who was injured, he had a Black Lives Matter.
So
button
when
on.
did it become a membership? I mean, can't you just say Black Lives?
Well, it
We
was
all
it was
black?
they started some type of an organization for the purpose of Black Lives Matter, and I guess Caucasian people were coming, and they couldn't see, I guess every Caucasian person to them was the problem.
That's so narrow.
Yeah, no.
Narrow-minded and short-sighted. And
Mhm.
if you look back at the civil rights movement, a lot of white
Yeah.
people lost their lives.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
marched
Yeah.
and did all those things that we needed to have done and did them with us.
Hmm.
So to look
You
at
think that's ignorance then?
2017,
People's
yeah,
ignorance.
Yeah,
well,
it gotta be.
happened back then was ignorance with, the lives that were lost and all the other things that we had to go through as a people. And now, to take something as petty as this and make it an issue
Exactly.
is ridiculousness
Mhm.
to me. That's like, you need to pick up a book
Yeah.
and study your math
Yeah.
instead of being on Black Twitter
Mhm.
talking about whether Bruno Mars is equipped to talk about perm.
So how did it get named Black Twitter? So there's regular Twitter. What is Black Twitter? Black Twitter is when
It's
black
just
people
basically
respond.
when we inundate on a certain topic,
Oh,
and it's Black Twitter.
I thought
Oh
it was
no,
two
no,
separate
no!
Twitters.
It's just
yeah,
when we jump on board.
I don't have a
When
Black
we
Twitter
jump on board
account.
to a certain topic.
I guess
it's
they're
about
just
Black
saying
Twitter.
he's trying to use our culture because he
Yeah.
also said he's bringing back the funk, but he doesn't mention anybody. I mean,
people just
it's
don't
like,
have anything
So
to talk
what is
about.
he anyway? It's not that it matters.
I
don't know
don't know.
why
I
I'm
mean,
not
he's a
saying
man
it
that's
is.
making music that everybody loves. That's
Not
what I look
everybody.
at. You don't like Bruno Mars?
Something about him. I don't.
I like his
But
songs.
then I hear music and they talking about that's him. I'm like, oh, that's him.
Yeah. That was
I
the
think
first
when I
time-
see him perform, because I don't like that vintage, the Jericho. I just can't get with it.
Well, that's his hair because he
Still look like a
I
Jericho.
don't know. He's
don't care.
he's mixed.
Twitter went down like that.
I guess. I mean, then you might as well, I mean, you got Black Twitter, you got BET. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't even really watch the award show no more because it's not a award show to me. I didn't watch it. What I did was go back and watch what I heard everybody talking about, which was the New Edition and Bobby Brown and I went to see the Escape reunion. I wanted to see that.
Did you see it?
I did, and I enjoyed it. My daughter, which is 18, she didn't like
Write
it.
me a
But
500
she
word
doesn't
essay
know.
on how you enjoyed that
I
performance.
did because they still hit the notes. I mean, they still.
They hit what notes? Candy hit that note.
The other
Which
two
the-
girls always could
Try
sing.
to understand.
The other two girls always could sing.
Tasha and her sister,
They
they held it
always could
down.
sing. Yeah, they.
But what you call
but-
was busy looking at Floyd Mayweather.
Well, okay,
Tiny.
you think
what is it,
Tiny was?
You know that's a man.
That ain't her man.
Okay. You keep on.
So yeah, that was one of my hot topics. But I know, Doctor, you got something over there.
Yes.
And I'm scared what you gonna bring out.
No, I'm gonna bring out something a little bit different
Warm.
from what I said.
Okay.
I just want to ask and how many you need and have and pay for. What do you guys think about relationships where the woman has more degrees in education than the man, and the man gets all caught up in how he feels inadequate and turns it into craziness in the relationship?
Ignorance. Because I think there's dumb smart people.
I
Just
would be
because
in
you
my
got a whole
feelings.
bunch of paper.
As a man, I would be caught in my feelings. I have to be true. I'm
Yeah,
telling
but
the truth.
why? I mean, because you're attracted
Insecurity?
to this woman initially.
He said it's
So
good, yeah.
why would
As long as she don't let nobody share those degrees, it's fine.
what?
Just sit there, be pretty, it'll be fine. Don't let nobody know you smart.
Did y'all hear that out there? He said, just look, so you want a trophy.
Hey,
You want a trophy.
ain't nothing wrong with a smart
The
trophy.
issue is
Uh-huh.
society changed the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Back
Okay.
in the day when the man did the work,
Was a provider and
the woman stayed
right.
home and cooked and cleaned and washed, priced right. or
somebody
whatever.
messed up somewhere.
Somebody messed up somewhere
Mhm.
because the women had to go to work
Mhm.
or wanted to go to work, but the men didn't want to change their end of the deal.
Mhm.
They still want her to do all that other stuff.
Mhm.
So
That's a big argument today.
I
in-
tell my
in certain
husband, I don't mind you
relationships.
take care of me. I ain't signed that women's rights bill.
But see, you're still following the traditional manual. Oh, well, are you have more degrees than your husband?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
My husband, he was in the military 20-something
Oh,
years.
okay.
He just finished his bachelor's. He was going for his master's. Then he said, "Why? I don't even need it for my job." So
Yeah.
he not finishing it. He said
Yeah.
if he chooses to go back, then that's fine. But he didn't mind. But he did make a comment
Uh-huh.
a couple years ago during our little conversations, and he says, "I can't have my woman smarter than me." I'm like, "Well, you've been around the world more. I never been around the world like you, so we even."
so why is that a problem though?
I don't know, because
I
I
wonder-
don't
I
use
would
none of
be-
my public administration stuff in my
I would
marriage,
be
so that has nothing to do with
interested
it.
to know if those
It's not
comments come
topic
from,
specific, though.
if they come from people more my generation and older, or like the millennials. Do they still think that way?
I don't think the
I
millennials
would
think
be
like
interested.
that.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if millennial guys think that way, because I
Because
think they're
women
probably
are so
still more
modern now.
conditioned.
The millennial
Yeah,
women are so
that's all
think
they've
been
known.
socialized
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
They grew up in the homes where
The mom was
Mom
working,
was
and
right,
yeah,
had a real career.
it's just
or
a habit.
whatever,
I think
and-
so. It's just a habit that guys haven't broken.
Yeah, but I think
And I think it would take an educated. It would probably take an educated guy, a really educated guy, to get that.
now
I
I've
can
known
see a
some people
doctor,
that's-
doctor and lawyer's been together. I mean, I don't think. Well, I
Is
mean,
that
where
the
it's a male.
Cosby Show.
What? No.
Tell me a doctor and lawyer live in the same house right now.
What's the chick name from The View? The black chick, Sonny
Oh.
Hoskins.
They
Her
might have
husband's.
like 3 or 4 houses.
You out to prove me wrong.
But see, I also think that was, like you said, that was society, doctor, because
Uh-huh.
also women stayed in marriages longer when the husband did it all, cheating and everything. That's why
They
Papa was a
Because they
Rolling
needed
Stone,
to.
because they didn't have any education. So now women like, wait a minute, I can go out and get a job. I'm educated. I don't need to sit back and have all this crap. And you're not going to just cheat on me. Back in the days, it wasn't an issue for a man to cheat because he took care of his home and then he did what he needed to do. But the
And
women
he
didn't.
managed all the money.
And
too.
exactly, and the women didn't go anywhere.
I
But
need some
now-
help,
He
guys.
couldn't drive. Some of them couldn't even.
Guys, I need some help.
Yeah, it's just so now it's like you educated. So now women, and I think there's a downfall a little bit. Now women are more to say, I don't need you as much as they did in the back in the day. So goodbye.
If you have any comments for this, please call us at 757-683-4405.
That's right.
Guys, I need some help.
Help him.
Yes, please. I don't know. I mean,
Why do you want her to sit and be pretty and
No,
not
that
be
was a
smart?
joke.
No,
me personally,
What?
I definitely want someone who is educated. I want someone who's cultured. I don't think, me personally, you can make much more than me.
Okay.
Sorry. I couldn't be Stedman for the world.
Well, do you think that?
Why? Why?
Because I can see it coming out her mouth. You said what?
Well, because Oprah's setting the standards of not getting married. Because she don't have to get married.
You're right. Well, you
Why
see,
is getting married so important?
It's not.
that's a
Okay.
good
But
question.
it is for me in my Christian walk. It is.
It was? It was.
It is for me. Yeah.
You-
In my Christian walk, yeah, it was important for me to be married. I'm not gonna sleep around.
Most of, I don't even have the numbers, but we in the salon we watched The View and a whole bunch of things. And they gave a study. They were saying most millennials are choosing not to marry.
Well,
No.
thank you for thinking I'm a millennial.
Well, no, this was aside from you. I'm sorry. The hair and everything is doing something, but, you know. I was just saying going forward, a lot of the millennials are choosing.
I know a lot of people choose not to. But like I said, with my Christian faith, I'm not just going to live with anybody. I still don't think you should just live and shack up with people. I mean, either you're going to do it or you're not. I don't think you should just live with somebody.
You don't look like you agree with it.
I'm processing.
You don't take it. You're physics. It don't take you that long to process that.
It is because it's English, remember?
Oh,
if I would say 400 times
words.
20,000,
That's that qualitative,
exactly.
right?
Thank you. Yes. No, I am not anti-marriage at all.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that it shouldn't always be the end-all, be-all, because some people don't belong together.
You're right.
And when they're together and then they're like, well, let's get married, that might make things better. Really?
No.
Break up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Person you need to be with. So, some people have a good equilibrium, and that's probably the Stedman Oprah factor.
Yeah.
And being secure with the fact that you can love somebody and be with them without that certificate from the state saying that you're officially in love and can be with them as opposed to just being in love and being with somebody is why I kind of have that gray area in the middle, because sometimes that can make stuff crazier.
You can.
When one of my girlfriends got married, she was very young. They got married, her and her boyfriend got married at 19. The day after the wedding, he is out there handing her clothes for her to iron. We're married now. You got to iron all my clothes.
He was a chauvinist.
Because those images, and that's what marriage meant.
Yeah, to him.
Wow.
Right.
19-year-old, when
He was
you
conditioned to
get married,
believe.
certain things, and that's another thing about the black community and money and math. Another woman said, well, I'm married now. I can spend all his money. I'm like, you stupid. If you spending his money, you spending your money. It's all in the same pot.
Right.
What are you talking about? All of his money. So, just going through the things that people, the expectations of what marriage is.
I guess men get a lot more now. I joke with my husband. I said, you really came out cheap. And he says, why? I said, because just think about it. The marriage license is what, $35? Right? What if you hire a maid? What if you hire a lady of the night? Man. You got $300-400 for the lady of the night for one night. You get a maid, which is what, $200 a week. You got a chef, which is what, about $200-300 a week.
The maid cannot cook.
No, the maid is there to clean up. Then you got the chef. Then you got the lady of the night. Then you got somebody that's talking to you. You really came out cheap, brother.
Handle the household responsibility.
Hello? You owe me some money. Somebody shortchanging me somewhere for that $35 marriage certificate. You owe me about $1,000 a week, really.
Wow.
So you just said, I heard you say that you needed to be married. You couldn't live in a non-Christian way.
You're right.
Look at you close.
However, so the options are married or alone or getting paid your money from your husband.
I just told him he came up cheap. But I just don't want to give everything to somebody and get nothing back. I worked in a law firm before, and people been living with people for years, and they die, and what you get? Nothing. There's nothing. You don't get anything by just shacking up, and I'm not gonna just keep giving my body to somebody and there's nothing in return.
Yes,
I'm getting his body.
Please don't.
Life insurance policies. Well, anyway.
That's true, but
That's that
sometimes it
math.
don't work. But but you're right.
I'm going to take it back to a STEM topic now. What I did want to talk about was the race, gender gap, and the diversity and the equity and all that stuff that we're hearing about now. We need more black folks in STEM. We need more women in STEM. We need more women that know black folks in STEM. All of that. So I'm like, well, you say it, but when we get there, then you get the whole bully, we don't want you in thing, just like the things that are going on some of our college campuses. So it's like, do you want us or not? So how do we deal with the inclusion but exclusion at the same time? And guys ever run into that in any of your day-to-days?
In STEM?
Not STEM, but in
Period.
general.
Oh.
I think STEM
societal.
because I don't, even though it's not a new area, I think like you were saying, African Americans, they fear, they've shied away from it for whatever reasons. And then there's so many opportunities going into it and so many efforts trying to get people to go into it. I just think it's just going to take time. Just like African Americans, when we stop segregation, it's just going to take time for everybody to get in there and be comfortable with it being an inclusive environment.
I think it should be everybody should study it, because now you got these certain STEM schools where, STEM programs, you can't really go to this school unless you good in this or smart in this. So if they start having it in a class like an honor roll class and have the STEM class.
Oh, like an advanced.
Exactly. Instead of taking them out, because there's some kids, like, okay, well, I'm better than you because I was accepted into the STEM program at this school.
That was big at graduations. There's something, academy, whatever.
Yeah.
When people were graduating, everybody was listening. They were like, such and such and such, honors, academy. I was like, okay. And then people who didn't get anything after their name.
It was
like,
like,
oh,
it was
man.
like, okay, so I think
He didn't do nothing.
First of all, you got to have teachers that understand STEM and know what it is, because just because you got the degree don't mean you can teach us, what's the science? What is STEM? What does that mean?
Okay.
Science,
Here's
technology.
the deal. Most teachers, all teachers, the only way you can teach is, unless they've changed it, in the state of Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
without having an education degree, is to have a PhD. So I have a PhD. I can walk into a school and teach. But if you don't, you have to major in education and focus and concentrate on one, like math, which means you might have to take 2 extra math classes.
Okay.
So the science teachers in junior high school and high school, they have an education degree for the most part, with an emphasis on biology.
Okay.
Or chemistry.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's the thing that sets them apart from the other teachers.
And that's middle school, because I know my daughter's going to Longwood now, and she's going for early childhood education. She's not going to be focused on one because she's in early childhood education, so
Right.
she's in elementary school. So they're teaching, she has to be well-rounded to teach all the 5 subjects, not just one core subject. That's only for middle school and high school, right? Okay, yeah.
So
I ain't trying to pay for no loan in there
I
that
know
you got
that's
to. Go on in there and get on out.
but when your students are in school and they're taking those things, it's for I'll say it like this: science is chemistry, biology, physics. Technology is the product of taking science and engineering, which is engineering takes the products of the science side and makes them into stuff.
Wow.
And the math is used to help the scientists come up with their discoveries and the engineers to take them and make them into a viable product, which is the technology at the end of it.
So you think they should have separate schools like they do now, separate academies, or incorporated like an honor roll program?
I think that right now it's being commercialized. I think that teaching them in the disciplines that they are, before you start making them glamorous by saying, ooh, we got drones and make by some 3D this and that and virtual reality and augmented, all of that stuff is cool, but all of that is technology. That's just technology.
Wow.
And it doesn't teach you how to do math. It doesn't help your calculus skills at all.
So
It's a product. And just like using technology in the classroom, playing games to learn math. You don't care nothing about the math. You just want to play with your darn tablet.
Yeah, but nowadays,
Game or whatever it is.
Doctor, all they have now is the calculator. They do everything on the calculator now.
I love it.
You don't. You say you love it. You don't teach. They don't teach you regular hand. Everything is done on the calculator. You have to, right? Everything is done on the calculator now.
We have an apocalypse.
We're going to save this till later because we don't have our calculators. That's what we're saying.
But it is. You can't sit down and do regular math. I know. My daughter has an issue with. She was having an issue with division. I was trying to teach long division. You can't teach me that way. That's not the way we're being taught. But we had to buy these $80-something calculators. The calculator's like $80-something.
It's the new way. But how many people's phone numbers do you have that you know off the top of your head, or do you know in your contacts list?
I know all my credit card numbers.
No, your phone numbers.
I'm just telling you.
Her brain up. Numbers, you know numbers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about phone numbers because we're used to putting them directly in our contacts.
People that I want to talk to or people that I have to talk to?
Either. I know my mom. I don't know my brother's phone number. I know the names in my phone.
Yeah. I know one daughter's number. I don't know another daughter's number because she came from Florida, from Jacksonville University. So she changed to a 904 number. And I don't know that number by heart. I just know it. I know my other daughter's number because it's a 757 number. I don't even know my mother's number.
Technology. It's in my contacts.
Mother
right.
In there.
Well, if you drop your phone in the water,
I'll call you as soon as I'm waiting for my phone. Yes. You know what? We have like 2 minutes before our next guest, and I want to get the topic in.
y'all need to throw those calculators away. You said she couldn't do the long division.
They don't teach long division there. They only do calculators in schools now.
Cursive writing anymore.
No, it's only calculators.
Oh my God.
That's coming back, I think.
What?
I want to say somebody.
Cursive? No,
for some reason, what does it mean when I write cursive and print at the same time? I'm all messed up.
You can do that when you're grown.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm like, well, I done wrote a whole bunch of stuff.
Dyslexic.
Yeah.
You might need to get on his disability book.
He said, what was it? He said by a certain time?
That's right. Disability scholar.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a question. So dating, you're not married, right?
I am.
Oh, you said? Oh, no, kids. So both of y'all, okay, well, y'all been through it at least before. So dating, are you obligated to be faithful when you're dating? Do you think?
I say no.
You say no.
Dating is, I'm just getting data on you so I can see if I want to still be with you. That's all dating is.
Okay.
So you don't have to just stick with one person.
Okay.
Dating is data to me.
Okay.
Dating is dating. Dating is data. I'm just dating you to get enough data to see if I want to take it farther. That's all it is.
I like that. But
So,
for some reason, it's like they
have to be.
people expect you, because I'm not married, and I've been dating, you know. And it's like, no, we dating. We're not in a relationship.
You have to define that because people think you give a little kiss and, oh, we're in a relationship now. No.
Yeah.
But I think men have to define that more than women because women automatically think we're in a relationship. Men don't. But if women start getting the same notion as dating is getting data, once you date and get enough data on somebody, then you decide if you want to go to the next level with them.
Right.
Then it goes to courtship. Courting means we're trying to see where we're taking this, we're going to go further. That's just my interpretation, Doc.
Lines are blurred between all of those different levels. It's not like a clean step.
No, I know it's not. Yeah.
So that's probably where some of the issues arise.
One kiss and they like, oh, we're in a relationship. I saw you at dinner with somebody. Okay, well, I didn't never say we was exclusive.
Or looking on your page talking about how you know such and such. I'm like, boo, no. You went to movies one time. Yeah.
That's what you got to say that.
Yeah.
After every date. You know this date, right?
Right. You would think. Okay, so would you agree with this, ladies, that in dating, women usually date to find a husband and maybe guys date for just fun?
I think so.
I asked my sister, she agreed with it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Unless you're second time around, then you might be over the marriage thing. But people who haven't been married yet, women are really looking for a man to.
They want stress over weddings and dresses.
Well, this is my second time around. But when I sat down with my husband on our first date, I knew I wasn't dating material. I was wife material. And I let him know that on my first date.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that I don't plan on dating you long. We're not going to have sex before we get married.
You told on the first date?
On our first date. And
that
this
would
is
be
something you want to do.
That would be a
because it's my second time. I already knew what I wanted. And I know I'm not a good dater because my emotions get caught up easy. So either we're going to do this or we're not. We're going to agree. We're not going to agree. And it was 3 years we dated, didn't have sex, and wound up getting married.
My Lord. It's a lot of TV.
But he had to agree with that as well. See, you can't just bring that on somebody and like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Brother.
Right. But he was in the church too, so.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. So therefore, I know that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
Okay.
But at our relationship. But I do tell my girlfriends who's dating now, certain things we ain't getting no younger. You need to get stuff out in the beginning. I've known somebody that just dated somebody a good 8 months. Just find out he had a fiance for the last 5 years. Why that didn't come up?
Jeez.
I don't think it was relevant to the conversation.
Uh-huh.
But you've been out several. It should have been certain
That's wrong.
certain things people don't. Yeah.
People play with each other's
Exactly.
emotions and their
If you get your
time
stuff
and
straight
their
out,
life. Yeah.
I know if I got to go on a second date. I don't need to keep going out with you to get something to eat.
Physics is way easier than all of this perming and dating and all that.
Is it?
Physics is so much easier. It's right or wrong. Yes.
Well, dating is right or wrong.
You can figure it out a whole lot easier.
Really? Okay.
Emotions not caught up in physics, right?
Not bad ones.
That's right.
Well, you know what? We have our next guest on the phone. She is Patrice Rivers. She is an author of 6 books. She's a poet, a blogger, a freelance writer, CEO, and the founder of F.U.S.E magazine. She wants to empower, inspire, and motivate people that have been through hard times by writing uplifting articles. Patrice is sure to touch several lives. So please help me welcome to the show Miss Patrice Rivers. How are you? Patrice? Okay, Patrice is gone. So she'll call back.
She'll call back.
She'll call it back. Yes,
So
she
what do
will.
you think? Do you want to keep dating? How long do you think you
I
wanna
don't.
date?
I think
Are you
right
marriage
now,
material?
because I was in a relationship, as we all, the world knows, for 16 years, got out of it. I enjoyed it. Now, my ex said that they would never, be in a relationship again, that they would just date. Me, I enjoyed being in a relationship. I don't know if I'm codependent or not, so I don't know if that's good or not. But I love being in a relationship. So, yeah, I'm dating with a purpose. So,
It is.
yeah. But I'm just noticing that a lot of people are like, they think that after one date that, this is
Exclusive.
theirs. No,
Oh.
not
I
so.
might be one of those people. It works.
Really?
That's me and my husband have been together since the day after we met.
Oh, okay.
Wow. See, did you tell him what you want up front?
Yeah, him and the
So
dog.
that
He
takes-
had a dog. I want the dog.
So would you say you marriage material, Will?
Oh,
You're not a
definitely.
dater.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Some people just
But
know
this is
they-
my fault, which I was going to go into our next topic with Al Sharpton. Y'all saw his fiance.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't mad at Al, but I was mad at Al. Did y'all see the selfie he took in the dressing
Yeah,
room?
yeah.
I thought somebody had doctored that up, but that was
That
Al
was him.
with those shoes on.
I see that.
You didn't see the.
Really, really, really skinny.
Oh,
You know, you still got that big old head.
On,
Well, he had his old clothes on. He had a jogging suit.
Oh,
You just
yeah,
had
I
this.
saw the
It's a
picture
small
of him
Adidas suit now.
And the fiance, the girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a 38-year-old stylist, and they have been together since 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, him and his wife.
Is he still married to her?
Let me see.
It looks like a dress.
Oh.
That's what I thought. He got some basketball shorts. I ain't played basketball in years, but Al doing it. So this has been my issue. Okay, everybody knows I'm 40, in the mid 40s range, right? I would love to meet somebody established. I would prefer somebody with a child. Somewhere around that age. I think I want to date a little bit younger, but that would still be early 40s. All I mean, like the person who I'm not dating but spending time with now, don't laugh, is 25.
Okay.
Which means I'm 21 years older than them.
I had a 5-year thing when I was dating.
Hold for a second, Patrice. Go
My
ahead.
husband is 20 years older than me.
Well,
He's how old?
20 years older than me.
Oh, okay, so I'm not wrong. I'm not going to jail. Okay.
No, but my boo was 5 years over and 5 years under my age. And only because you want to have some token. Will, you're not about to go to the club.
I'm not.
If,
I'm not. But
if,
see,
if the
they're
person's
church. They're in the
mature-
church and they don't go to the club either.
Okay, but
I
you
was
know,
shocked that we had so much in common.
Well, I mean, age is nothing but a number. Ain't that right, Doctor, according to you?
Well, no, they're a little. Well, cover your ears, but they're just a little more active than my
Well,
energy
they are.
level
They
is.
are. Well, women more active at our age now.
Okay.
Anyway.
When I was younger, my first husband, my starter marriage, he and I were the same age.
We're
She
coming,
said start a
Patrice.
marriage. She said start a marriage. Oh wow.
But his level of maturity,
Yeah, and that
and
to me,
I
that's
say
what it
this
is.
about older men, even if they got all of them got their little stuff going on,
Mhm.
older men are much more respectful about how they do or don't present,
Mhm.
and so they've smoothed it out.
Mm.
So
Okay.
anyhow, let's
All
get
right.
to the game.
Let's go to Miss Patrice. Patrice, are you there?
I'm
Hi, how are you?
Good. I called about 3 or 4 times. I
Did
telling
you?
Nikki. Yeah.
I know we got one time we had you on hold. Nikki should have told you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we introduced you. We have you on the show. Thank you so much for
Oh, you're welcome.
calling into the show. We want to get things started. So I know you from F.U.S.E. magazine. I didn't know about all the other things that you have going on. But how old were you when you first were diagnosed with sickle cell? I didn't know that.
I was 1 when my parents found out I was
Oh.
diagnosed with sickle cell.
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Patrice. This is
Hi.
Caprice. I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, I see.
To those who don't know you, what exactly is sickle cell and how does it affect people that have it?
Sickle cell is basically an inherited blood disorder. It's basically genetically, not everybody can get it. So basically, both parents must have sickle cell trait in order for their children to inherit the disease. Now, it's a 50% chance. So if one parent has the trait and the other parent may have the disease, then it's a 50-50 chance that, the child may have the disease or the trait. So both my parents have the actual, trait. Mm-hmm. So I was diagnosed when I was 1 with the disease. So it varies. It can cause a lot of complications, especially with the sickle cell. It's not a normal blood, a normal shaped cell like a donut, with normal people's blood cells. It's more shaped like a sickle or a banana shape. So when those cells get stuck together, it causes a lack of oxygen, and it does cause major pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a quick follow-up question to that. I'm not sure how old you are, Patrice, but in the rap community, Prodigy had sickle cell, and he just passed.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues? Because they said he was in Vegas where it was really hot. He just finished doing the show. He wasn't having a crisis going in. Do you have any issues now because of the weather outside?
Honestly, I haven't really had a major pain crisis per se where I was hospitalized since 1999. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, I experienced, a small, minor pain crisis where I just only went to the ER. They gave me morphine pain medicine, but I wasn't really hospitalized. But a lot of times with different patients living with sickle cell, climate change, weather does, take a toll and has a major effect. Especially when it's hot, you can't be in the heat that long. You got to have water, keep yourself hydrated, or same thing being cold, because that does sometimes trigger, pain crisis. But I was fortunate that, in the last couple of years, since 1999, I haven't really experienced a major pain crisis where I was actually hospitalized for a week or 2.
Okay. Well, I have a couple questions for you. I'm going to ask you a sickle cell question, too. My aunt died from sickle cell when she was 26, and that was a few years back. I mean, I was only like 13 then, but I'm sure that the treatment has advanced since then.
Right.
So, how often do you spend time in the hospital? I'm just curious.
To be honest, no time. I barely get a blood transfusion. I only had 1 blood transfusion, and that was back in 2014. That was the last time. I know a lot of sickle cell patients do take a treatment or a medicine that actually it started out as a chemotherapy for breast cancer, cancer patients, but they tried it on sickle cell patients called hydroxyurea. And luckily for me, that has helped. I've been taking that since 1999.
Okay.
I haven't really been hospitalized, to be honest, since 1999.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about your books now. How many books have you published in total, and what genre do you write in particular?
I have published a total of 6 books. My first book was published 2012. The first book, the genre, I do write poetry, so the first 2 books are poetry. I have written 2 children book that talks about a child living with sickle cell, which basically tells my story somewhat. and I wrote a short fiction book, and the genre was fiction, but my latest book, the genre is urban Christian, which I published last year, July.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you spend a lot of time writing, I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
blog as well?
Huh?
You blog and you write books?
I blog, write, the magazine. I do it the whole 9 yards.
Okay, then. We must be keeping you from something.
Hi, Patrice. This is Will again. I have a question just about the disease in general. I've known quite a few people throughout my life who've had sickle cell, but they've
Right.
always all been black. Is this a disease that predominantly affects African Americans?
I mean, it predominantly do affect African Americans. However, a lot of people don't know it affects other cultures. People of India descent, people in Puerto Rico, so it does affect that. The
So people of
Caribbean,
color.
so it does affect other background cultures. But it's known. People always call it the black disease because predominantly it does affect. Mostly African American, but that's where we're trying to do more awareness for people of diversity because it affects more
Okay.
than just African Americans.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
know that. Thank you.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Okay, Patrice, this is Caprice again. Tell us about your magazine, F.U.S.E. One, what does F.U.S.E. stand for? What is the acronyms for? And two, when are you going to have me in the magazine?
I know that's right.
F.U.S.E. stands for Follow Your Success to Elevation. I recently changed it to the acronym to that recently, early this year, because I felt that was a better, element for it because the people that I feature in there, business owners. I do feature a lot of people with health and awareness, like breast cancer survivors and domestic violence. Also, I'm kind of revamping it a little bit to focus more on fashion. I do have the fashion issue coming out for July, featuring the 757 models. So a lot of the models from this area is going to be in there. So focus on entertainment, music, that sort of thing. And the second, the question, just let me know, Capri.
Is
Just
that
let me
easy?
know.
See?
This is Dr. Coleman. I want to know when I'm going to be in the magazine.
We're going to reach out to you on Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we both have something to offer to
Yes.
your viewers and readers.
That's great. I look forward to it.
So my question to you is, what are you doing to help promote the awareness of sickle cell?
Well, basically, I'm volunteering. I used to volunteer, but most likely I'm promoting on social media, letting people, basically letting people know, well, first what the disease is, the major symptoms of the disease. I used to volunteer at a local chapter in Norfolk by Military Circle Mall. I used to work there actually, and just help, organizing the walk they usually have every September. So basically just sharing with people what sickle cell is, who it affects, and just giving bits and pieces of facts and information. I try to, I want to, for September, feature, of course, people who have organizations, with sickle cell and people who have sickle cell featured. So
Okay.
that's important.
So September is the walk. That happens all over the United States.
Yes, because a lot of different states have different chapters where they have walks and everything, so that's major. I'm not sure when the one here is. I know it's usually at Norfolk State Stadium every September.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
great.
Yes. Well, Patrice, aside from the walk, what's in store for you and your brand? And then how can people follow you to stay up to date?
Well, as far as the magazine, people can always go on my website. I am patricerivers.com. And, of course, my Instagram. I'm always posting updates with the magazine, and people who want to advertise. My Instagram is I am F.U.S.E, and then F.U.S.E is the acronym with the dots in between. I am F.U.S.E magazine. And basically, people can subscribe for free on JUMAG. I do publish a magazine through JUMAG, MadCloud, and Issue.com.
Okay.
And it usually come out every month. But next year I'm gonna change that. It's gonna be quarterly. 4 issues with the local issue and then national and the ATL one. So.
Awesome. Well, Patrice, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate all the information that you gave.
You're welcome. No problem. Thank you for having me.
Good night. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Okay. Did we finish talking about Al? Because I don't think I finished the
Well, no,
second part.
you didn't finish the age. You was asking a question
Oh,
about the
yeah.
age.
Well, yes, and I was glad that Dr. Coleman also has a 20-year gap. So what are some issues? There have had to be some issues. Maybe not now, but
Pros and
early
cons.
on, yeah.
No, now there are issues. I'll tell you what the biggest issue is in my household.
She is crazy.
My husband is a former Marine.
Okay.
From way back.
Mm.
He still insists upon creasing his jeans.
Oh, really?
That's a fashion issue.
He hasn't let that go.
No.
Is he really stern? Like neat, everything has to be in order, and
No, he's just particular about those creases
does he dress neat?
when we go out.
Really?
Yes.
I can always tell a military guy because the way they're dressed, they're just
Well, let me
really,
ask you
really.
a question. Do you wash his clothes?
He does it.
Okay, because my husband military too. He don't let me wash the clothes.
Really?
And he likes his socks folded a certain way. I mean, I did do it when we first got married, but then he would come home and undo everything because his socks and his shirts is going to have to be a certain way. Yeah, they roll them up. They roll them up a certain way, and he still keeps a packed bag near his bed, still with everything in it.
Oh no, he's not.
Just in case, he always say you never know if the house catch on fire, whatever. Yeah, because in the military you always had to be ready. He still keeps a packed bag, so if we happen to go away somewhere, he just change stuff out and.
I keep a packed bag in my trunk, but I'm just saying.
Well, hey, that's the other reason. I used to do that too when I was single.
Just a joke. Just a joke. But you know, with Al as
so
well.
how do you feel going out with a 25-year-old?
Wrong.
You
I
feel
wrong.
like, because I look older than my husband. I mean, I look younger than my husband. And people always say, I've heard my friend first seen, she's like, oh, who was that? Your uncle came in town? I'm like, no, that was my boyfriend. And I used to feel embarrassed, but I make him keep a bald head now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going out with you without a bald head. Bald head is younger.
His daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm
Really?
sharing this with everybody listening. This is so funny, and it doesn't have anything to do with STEM or physics. I graduated from high school with my ex-husband and my stepdaughter.
What? Wow. You graduated high school with your ex-husband and your stepdaughter.
Lord.
I mean, this is just
Yeah.
Works wow.
But anyway, back to
Yeah, so people thought that you was his daughter, right?
not because I knew him then.
Yeah,
but
but
because of the age.
The
The
age
age
difference.
difference.
So
I would love, like I said, something that I'm doing. It has to be because I believe in energies. Nobody has been. It's always been in the 20s up to maybe the most 35. Now I know I'm youthful. I know I keep myself together. I don't know if they think. A lot of people say it's because of what you have, that they want that.
I don't know what you have, so.
We'll see.
Well, the hair shop,
Well, I mean, you.
But I know he ain't got the credentials, everything you got. So how do you feel about that? He's young
No.
and he don't have no degrees. I'm pretty
No
sure.
degrees. No degrees. Has a job. That's it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We're back where we started.
Yeah.
About degrees.
Yeah.
Paper don't matter.
You're saying that you don't want to go back and get the second one. However,
This will be my third one because I have an associate. But my brother told me, he said, whenever you get a degree, it trumps the rest of them.
It do.
That's sad.
You see them people with them name them acronyms. I'm pretty sure you got the PhD, the MA.
But you only
MBA,
recognize the PhD, right?
You don't, yeah.
See, that's
but
what my brother is.
Some people put all that stuff behind
Oh,
their
yeah,
name.
long.
Depends on the
I'm gonna
job
put
you're
all
going
of
for or whatever. I put everything on it. I even put
All
my
the way
life
back to
coach
my
certification.
cosmetology license. I'm going to put all of them.
on your resume or your
Yeah.
CV, but you don't have to put it on your business card.
That's going to be a long, yeah.
I guess because it's just perceived that if you have the PhD, you have the rest of them.
Yeah, but as far as what you're dating and that paper, my friend dated somebody. She met online and they went to the restaurant. Now, on paper, met every criteria she wanted. Doctorate, everything, because she's going for her doctorate. But when she got on that date, She said it was like watching paint dry. He
Yeah.
was the boring. He had no
Yeah.
personality. So that changed her mind about making sure this person has all these credentials.
Yeah.
Because
And I
he
guess
was
What's the
boring.
conversation going to be like? What life experiences can you discuss?
You're boring.
Yeah.
Well, but see, that's the stereotype that people have about physicists. We're boring. We're uncoordinated, non-athletic.
They say uncoordinated?
Or styles. No style. I'll just
Mhm.
say that.
Oh, I see the image that
No
people are drawing.
social
Okay.
skills.
Because of the
Yeah.
glasses with
Glasses crooked with,
with
the tape
with
right
the
there.
tape on it, which that's not true. I don't
And
think.
I will say, some of them happen. I meet the criteria of many.
Where?
I'm a black woman with no rhythm.
You can't dance.
No.
Oh, poor thing.
Count.
Oh my God.
10, 9.
There are a lot of, I met students, young students last year at a conference, STEM, science, biology, whatever. They couldn't dance either.
Mm.
I said, you know what I think it is? We focus too much on the count. The 1, 2, 3, because most people just move.
Just move. They feel the beat
We're
and they
probably
move.
processing the
Counting
time.
and trying to subtract, divide. Yeah. It's just too basic for you guys.
Negative 2.
Yeah.
Positive
See?
2.
Too much. Too much.
Well, if I was an old man, Lord, if I was
Why
a
you calling
single
it-
woman,
Oh.
I wouldn't date Al Sharpton. But I don't know if you ever seen this other gentleman on Instagram.
Yes.
He's an older
Fly?
model. Oh my goodness, yes.
That's very
Is
few
he
and
the
far
one with the big
between.
straight hair?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I wouldn't care how old he was. He looks
That's
good.
how I want to be.
The men's warehouse guy. Is it him?
Not men's wear. He's not in this area.
No, I mean the commercial.
No, I don't think
It's
that's him.
like
I know who
that
you're talking about.
No.
This guy is like 10
This
times
guy,
that
yeah,
one.
he's
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
he became a model by accident.
But I think his somebody posted a
Grandchildren
picture
posted
of
a
him.
picture of him.
And it went
that
viral.
guy.
Yeah, you know.
I've seen him.
Yes, and he just models everything now. Like, woo,
That's
that's a
how I
good
wanna
looking
be.
older
But
guy.
you gotta check out the other one I'm talking about too.
We got look, Men's Warehouse something. We got to look it up. But what about this Al? Because Al and his wife have been separated amicably since 2004, so that he's not divorced.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
Stupid.
and because I have relatives, like I would think because Aunt has been with this guy for so while that she's single, but they say no, she's still married to Uncle Larry,
That's the
but they just
old
ain't
way.
together. Yeah.
That's the old way.
So what do you think about, because he's already talking about, this is his fiance. He's 62, she's 38, the stylist.
How you gonna work that out if
He's still married. I have worked in a hospital where people was separated for 40-something years.
Uh-huh.
The wife's been living on the man for the past 20 years and got things together. However, when that man died, she ain't had no say-so. They couldn't even move that body till that wife got there. And she had everything. She had everything, and she was able to say everything because she technically, by law, was still his wife. And I had another incident work at the hospital where the man was like on life support. The kids wanted them to still stay because they felt he was still there. The girlfriends felt the same way. That wife came from New York
She said, pull it. Which cord is it?
and said she spoke to the doctors. The doctors told her what it is. She didn't have any emotion attached to it. So the kids had emotion. So you're gonna want to stay. She said no. Now the kids they stopped speaking to her, but she came and she made that decision because by law she's still his wife. That's the hard part. Even when somebody was applying for to go into like a nursing home, you can't have any assets. That wife owned stuff. He couldn't get any Medicaid.
Wow.
So you got to be careful still being married to somebody and being separated that long because it's a price to pay. I don't want my ex-husband coming to make no decision for me or my, separate 20-some years. I've been with this chick for the last 20 and you're going to come and just pull my plug?
Yeah.
It happens. By law, it's
And it
going
would
to
get
happen.
pulled just because you've been with them. Yeah.
That's what lawyers are for. Get divorced and keep it moving.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
What else you have to talk about, babe?
My thing is, I understand this is a touchy subject with Bill Cosby. I understand what people are going through. I understand the situation of molestation and rape. But 15 years, you're about to bring something back up? This man is about to go to court now. It says Bill Cosby returned to court for civil suit alleging he sexually assaulted a teen girl at the Playboy Mansion in 1946.
Be
so he's about
quiet.
to, yes.
What?
Yes.
out for him.
Yes. 1974. It said Bill Cosby headed to court again, this time for a civil trial to face accusation of sexual assaulting a teenage girl at the Playboy Mansion in 1974. Where is the statute of limitations at?
Well, first of all, where were the other 30 girls? I mean, why was she even there if she was a teenager?
Because they probably look good. She was
Hopefully they'll get
15-year-old's
out.
court record state. The statute of limitations had expired for a criminal case, but California law allows victims of underage sexual abuse to file a lawsuit decades after the alleged incident took
So
place.
they're fishing. Whoever the legal team,
Yeah, 'cause
they're looking for different ways to
that's
get him.
gonna be the one on trial for that one.
Yeah.
So Cosby has already given a deposition in this case, which is sealed. So he go to court July 30th, not on the case of the
Right,
women,
this
but
is-
this is from a 15-year-old from 1974. Come on. At what time do you say, you know what? No matter how much money you're going to get, it's not going to erase the memories if it didn't happen.
Yeah, right.
15-year-old, her mother should be held responsible. It should be child something.
Yeah.
You have to.
And
Hugh
you have to
Hefner.
because it was at his place.
Exactly.
So why is this man on a
They're
civil
out for
case?
him, so-
Because they
Which
can.
Yeah.
Why she weighed 450?
I'm sure all this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why now?
So it says in her civil lawsuit, Judy Huth alleges Cosby molested her in a bedroom at the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner framed his states when she was 15.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to go to court to answer something that was in 1974
Not only that,
that they may take your money for. Is that I mean, does that seem right?
No, it doesn't seem right at all.
not only that, at 15, how she know it was Bill Cosby? We ain't just a black dude.
Who did you tell at 15? Who did you tell?
I don't know.
So why now?
Because you couldn't do
recall
criminal,
that.
but you can still do civil. So why now? Well, you know, what are you going to get out of it? Money, if he don't have any left.
You gotta have money to sue. I mean, you know, it's
Especially
Yeah.
Bill Cosby. I'm sure they're gonna get that.
So he has to actually go to court for
But
this
it's gonna
now.
be something after that.
financial literacy.
And it's just like, at what point do you say, come on now? enough
At
is
80, they're probably just trying to kill him, stress him to death. They've already. I know what goes on in that house with Camille.
Yeah.
'Cause she came out smiling one day. I ain't seen her since. She wrote that judge a dear
That's
judge
it.
letter.
That's it. It's just like, I'm like, okay, come on now. Enough is enough.
I found out that when they go back, the same judge has to try.
Has to try
I don't
the
think
case.
she knew
Yeah.
that, and she's
No, she
already
didn't.
shared her feelings, how she feel about the judge. But now when they retry,
But like 1974, I mean, you was
Yeah.
15.
yeah.
It doesn't go away, but
Uh,
give it a rest, lady. I mean, come on. I mean, you're not gonna have your memory's still gonna be there. What happened? And like you said, that's a good point. How do you know that was Bill Cosby?
From 1974, she could have. That could have been Patty Hearst and her kidnappers. Y'all remember that? She got Stockholm syndrome. She was like, "Oh, I'm with these guys." I mean, there's no telling what she was on.
true.
But
What did Kellyanne do?
Kellyanne. Oh my
Is she?
goodness.
I heard that she was anti-Trump.
She said
now.
those on Medicaid. This is Kellyanne Conway, y'all. Listen, those on Medicaid who will lose health insurance can always get a job. That's what she's saying. So why, we press so hard? Able-bodied.
Able-bodied Americans.
Yeah.
On Medicaid should be working and getting health insurance from their employer. Now, first of all, if she knew anything about Medicaid,
Yeah, right.
the article touched on some of the points that people are working and don't make enough money to
To-
have insurance.
And be able to
Their
afford.
employer's not providing it, so they have to get Medicaid
Mhm.
in order to have coverage.
Right.
They can't afford to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The other people that are on Medicaid because of
Disability.
disability
Mhm.
necessity. They need Medicaid to take care of them to make sure
Mhm.
they get the proper treatment for what their ailments are. So for her to be as
Narrow-minded.
narrow-minded and
Absent-minded, really.
and just all of this whole holier than thou, and y'all just need to get over yourselves attitude of this administration. Y'all remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That need to happen.
Yes, that
Yeah.
needs to happen for me.
Exactly, for that,
Trading
yup.
places and see what these people come back talking about.
Well, that's what happens when you hire a cabinet
Conway, net $40 million.
40 who she's worth $40 million herself.
Mm.
For real?
Yeah, and then the Betsy, the education girl, like you said, she's never been in private. But she's isn't she a billionaire?
Yeah, she was a billionaire before she got in. That's why she got
So
in.
when he surrounded
His whole
himself with all
cabinet's
these
of
people, how
billionaires.
can they even relate to the needs and
They
requirements
They
of people?
don't care.
That's why they want to get rid of all those things which they feel that they're paying for.
Exactly. And she says Obamacare took Medicaid, which was designed to help the poor, the needy, the sick, disabled, also children and pregnant women. It took it and went way above the poverty line. Too many able-bodied Americans, she said, they should probably find at least see if there are other options for them. There are no other
They're
options.
trying to take it from everybody. They
Yeah.
want them.
And the Medicare, I mean, you got people that make $13,000 a year on Medicare, and their insurance is going to skyrocket versus the younger individuals that barely even go to the doctor. But that's what Obamacare did. I mean, the younger people didn't pay that much
Right.
because they didn't go as
Right.
much than what we did. You know, the older people go. I mean, we don't even go that much. We go for our annual checkups. The older people need it, and the people that have pre-existing conditions. But they're trying to take all that because they don't use it. And actually, like I always tell people, Trump, you living in a free house. You living in public houses. We pay for that house you living
Yeah.
in. So
Well,
you
that's
technically in
that's
public
probably
housing.
why Melania was so slow in getting there.
She didn't want to go to public
Going
housing.
to the projects.
Yeah, exactly. Or after they just left here.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was wondering, did they actually probably throw away all the mattresses or something like that?
Well, I'm sure they
pretty
get rid
sure
of all
they
that.
did.
No, you don't think they're
They had the
recycling
nerve
it?
to even say at one media outlet that they said there was roaches there. There was no roaches
No,
there. Oh,
no, that's just ignorance. Ignorance.
it just, we just have to do better, people. Do better.
Y'all diverted away from those calculators, though. We're going to get back to that.
Okay,
That's the
well,
school
we'll
system.
end with the calculators because that's going to give me a headache on my way home. I want to tie into something that's going back to the one that you were talking about with the 15-year-old who claimed that Bill Cosby did that. So in North Carolina, they have a new law that they're trying to put into effect. No doesn't really mean no. North Carolina means women can revoke consent for sex. So it was one Monday in January. A 19-year-old girl named Aaliyah Palmer, they put her name in there, spent several hours telling law enforcement people in Fayetteville that she had been raped. So things started out like this. She said she had a consensual encounter in a bathroom with a young man, but when this man was having sex with her, he began tearing out her hair. She demanded he stop. He didn't. Then a detective interrupted her account of the occasion and asked her, at any time after she said no, did her attacker stop having sex with her, then penetrate her once again? She said yes. He said, okay. According to Palmer, he said that's very important. It's important because in North Carolina, a person cannot withdraw consent for sex once intercourse is taking place because of a 1979 state Supreme Court law that has never been overturned. Continuing to have sex with someone who consented then backed out isn't considered to be rape. So it can't get too much when you say stop and I don't stop. That's not rape. What do you think?
I disagree with it, and I'm also thinking about the definition of stop.
There's only one Webster definition of stop.
What's the physics definition of stop?
Technically, stop means no motion, but their definition means lack of penetration. So
End everything, basically.
Okay.
Tearing out her hair, stop. And he didn't stop.
But you said, I don't think hair was on that list of.
He said, but when the man having sex with her began tearing out her hair, she demanded he stop, but
Her
he
weave,
didn't.
her $500 weave,
Right.
that's what it was.
Huh?
I'm talking about the law part of
Oh,
it.
right.
The law says what?
A person cannot withdraw consent for sex once intercourse is taking place.
Is taking place.
So once he start, he ain't got to stop just because you say stop.
That goes back to what my definition of stop is.
Okay.
What does stop mean? You got off, or y'all separated, or you just took a break?
Oh, I got
That's
you.
what I'm trying to figure out.
I got you.
Because stop on here means cause an action, process, or event to come to an end.
End, period.
An end.
Like
That's
the
what the
preacher.
definition
End.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's still vague.
I just,
That's
that's
subject to
that's
interpretation
just-
by a shady lawyer.
They said continuing to have sex with someone who consented then backed out isn't considered to be rape.
That's what I'm saying.
So even if it's a break, if it continues again, if she just needs, I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then start back, then, you know.
Like, now if you stopped, and then like, okay, well, nah, that's it. I don't want to go no more. Then I can understand.
Yeah.
But in the middle of the pump,
Uh-huh.
no.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in the middle of the motion.
Yeah, uh-huh.
In the middle of the motion. Turn it right. I mean, in the middle of the motion, then no.
Right.
But no. I mean, if you take a break, then then you don't want no more than that. Then that should stop.
It should stop.
He found the article.
Oh, it's news, babe. You have to look past physics. It's in the news. It's in the world. It's in the world.
It's in the world. It's in the world. I don't know if you ever watch the Carmichael Show.
Yes.
And they had, did you see that episode? It's a new season on now, and they just had an episode about rape.
Mm-hmm.
It was about, because the brother on the Carmichael Show, he always has good subjects on it. And the brother on the Carmichael Show had actually had intercourse with this young lady, and she was drunk. He has a brother. He had him. He's married. He's actually divorced from that other girl in real life, the one that's on the funny lady, and she didn't give consent. She didn't say yes, but they was having a good time, whatever, and they just did it. So they was reading an article, and he says, "Oh my God, I think I just raped this young lady," and he was like, "What?" He said, "She never said yes. We can go ahead. We just started." So did I actually?
No.
Rape her? So then,
the lawyer would say, "Well, did you resist? In what ways did you?"
But
let
after
them
the
know?
whole show, he finally went to her because he was going to tell her that he actually sorry for doing that, and she was like, "Oh, you didn't do that." He was like, "Well, why you didn't want to just keep going on?" She said, "It wasn't because you raped me, because you was bad."
Oh. What show was that?
The Carmichael Show. We have to watch it.
Okay.
It comes on Wednesdays, actually. Come on Wednesdays. But I usually watch it on YouTube. You watch your man, but I usually watch it on.
Is that the one with Loretta Devine?
Yeah, and her and
Oh, why did I miss that? I love
what's
her.
the David Allen Greer?
Oh, 'cause I'm here.
It's funny. It comes on, but his is social. A lot of his stuff is social, and it's really good because the first one was about the mother have Alzheimer's, something she wanted to just take her own life, and it was good. Then the other one was about a gay wedding that they didn't know if they should go and they not go, and it was really good.
His comedy is
Social.
more intellectual.
Yeah.
It's not like slapstick.
Yes.
Who's this?
The Carmichael Show. He actually was the guy. Now I never seen the movie Get Out. He wrote Get Out, and so he did that. But I never seen the movie yet. But it's really good. The Carmichael Show.
Okay. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to come back and we're going to have your STEM question. You have a good one for us?
Okay.
You know, a good one? Okay, well, we're going to take a break so that we can get our minds. We have to get our minds together for this question.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. You're
Let me turn
listening
my
to Let's
calculator
Face
on.
It, and we'll be right back.
You've been listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and friends. We'll be right back.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude,
How's the temperature?
it's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Of course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
You're now listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and friends. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. I'm in the studio with Miss Caprice Elmore. You're a local legend now with the show. You know that we have people who actually request you.
There you go. That's
so you're
what I'm
making
talking
a
about,
presence,
people.
yes. And then Dr. Trina Coleman, we're going to talk to her about STEM. We're going to talk about STEM. We didn't get a chance earlier to talk to you about the website. I went on it. Great. And just found out that you built it yourself. So www.academicblueblood.com, academicblueblood.com. And you told us what it stands for. You coined that phrase. Tell us about the website.
Okay. I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
We've been talking about a plethora of topics tonight. I'm having a great time. But my website is set up to bring awareness to the fact that there is the capability for students to become blue bloods, as I call them, to hone their skills, to be mentored, and it's also set up to share some of my academic background and to talk about my ability to give speaking engagements and or workshops and talk about mentoring. So on the front page of my website, I have a diagram. It's a scattering diagram. I'm about to get real physics-like nerdy. And it's got an incoming particle, then it's got a molecule, it's an atom actually. And it intersects or interacts with the atom, and then stuff flies off. That's what happens when you have scattering in physics. So I equated that to mentoring. Approach, interact, spread knowledge, create knowledge. So there are things that happen after the interaction in the experiment just as there are in real life. So if a mentor sees a group of students, one of them has got to be interested in doing something science related. So they interact, and then the mentor grooms him to the point where now this student is able to talk about what he knows. Not only that, he's able to go off and create new stuff and research new stuff. So that's the vision that I have for Academic Blue Blood. Let's make blue bloods. Let's take our students, take our scholars, find our gifted, mentor them, make them as good as they can be. And my online platform, which is what I'm building now, to have online STEM courses. I'm doing physics, I'm doing math, I'm doing math assessments. I have a biologist and a chemist also that are going to be working with me to put up online content. And it's going to be available for people to go online and help them to learn or refresh themselves with math concepts for those of you who are not mathematically savvy, as you say. So that's at stem.academicblueblood.com. And what I take the acronym STEM, that stands for Science, Technology, and Engineering and Mathematics, and I said start taking essential measures. That's what we have to do. We need to start taking essential measures. So that's my interpretation of STEM, and that's what I want to do to change the world. So,
wow.
Everything is comprehensive and academic, and I just love talking about learning, and I love being a mentor, and I really, really love speaking. If you guys have not figured that out yet, so I'll come and talk to a school. I'll come talk to an organization who wants to sponsor or a program in STEM learning. Oh yeah, that's my little avatar thing. And so, any questions?
Well, good. Well, that's our next question. Well, since you want to be a speaker and want to come talk about things, how can somebody request you or follow you on social media to get your information?
Okay, they can request me at the website academicblueblood.com. I have a contact page there, and you can fill out the contact page and say what you want and who you are, and I'll have all of that come to me by email. My Twitter handle is DRTLC. TLC are actually my initials. DRTLC is my Twitter handle. Also have an Academic Blue Blood Twitter site. Don't ask me what it is. Academic DRTLC. That's what it is. And I have a Facebook page for academic. Yep.
Is you?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Facebook, I have an Academic Blue Blood page, or you can just follow me on Facebook. And I have an Instagram account. I don't know what it is. I have not gotten to that point yet where I use it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, between Twitter, Facebook, and the website, I am easy
Available. Yes.
Good,
yes.
good.
And Mr. Strayhorn knows how to reach me.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'll put you on the website. I'll add you to the website with links. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Perfect.
But thank you for coming on the show, and always, Caprice, thank you for coming on the show.
Yes. I enjoyed it. I love it being with the #1 radio show.
We are the #1 show on WODU. I still can't get over that, but I'm very thankful for everything that's going on. TV platform, I wasn't going to tell anybody yet. It's coming very soon. That's what I've been working on.
Good.
Have the logo down. Talk to the camera people, and just now looking for a venue to shoot.
Let me sit up just in case you need me for the
Yes. But you will definitely be here for the last show. Our last show of the summer series is Wednesday, July 26th. You'll be here for that. And the next week is all about relationships, love and relationships. Yes, make sure that you tune in next Wednesday between 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right? Y'all have any closing words? Yes.
I just want to say this was awesome. I had a great time. I did not know what to expect.
Really?
And that was what I got.
Okay.
What I did not know what to expect, but it was fun. And I'd love to come back anytime you want to have
Definitely.
And we'll talk about
Because you have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, because
about the calculators.
all the way around that one. We didn't talk about the calculator yet.
That's just like she was saying. That's in all the schools. I mean, for us, that was on our list to buy calculators.
But in all seriousness, though, there are things that we need to do as a community to make sure that we are raising our collective game, financially and intellectually.
I agree.
So those are my closing words.
I agree. All right, you, Caprice. You have anything to say?
I just always say, live your life on purpose. Don't be paper driven, because once you're paper driven, you will definitely lose your purpose. And paper is not just the degree, but also money.
And then you taught me passion and purpose over paper, right?
That's right.
All right. I might get that on a T-shirt. I don't know. I'm known for stealing, but okay. Well, until next week, everybody. I enjoyed myself. Thank you, ladies. Until next week, everybody, be blessed.
Thank you for listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Please be sure to visit us on the web at letsfaceitradio.com and at Let's Face It Radio on Facebook for the latest in show information and exciting, innovating ways that you can be a part of the show. So tune in next week, same place, same time, for real people, real topics, real talk. Let's face it.
You're listening to WODU, ODU source for radio and television. Check us out on